What's up, YouTube? So, sorry for the delay with this. I've been out with my family for the last couple days. We ended up going camping, so I haven't really been around. The videos you've been seeing were pre-recorded, so y'all had videos and stuff like that, but I wasn't really available to really do this right now. But I'm home now. I'm tired as shit. To be honest, I really don't feel like doing this video, but I gotta bring this content to you. So, we're gonna go over the trade, talk about the contract situations with Shaq Lawson and McKinney, who were both involved in this trade. Go over some film, look at the injury history, and stuff like that. So, McKinney is obviously a fantastic player when he's at his best, for sure. He is a Pro Bowl player, former Pro Bowl player anyway. As you can see right here, he was a Pro Bowler in 2018. We traded him for Shaq Lawson, a pass rusher for us, and we also give them a 6th-round pick, and we are receiving a 7th-round pick back. So that is the entire trade. Now, if we look at their contract, Shaq Lawson's deal is much shorter, but they would have been making around the same amount of money here. About 7, 9, and 10. And Lawson's making about almost 9 here. So it's similar as far as pay, and it's one more year for McKinney. So it's pretty comparable to what we would have been in as far as contract money wise. Now, one of the concerns is he does have a bit of an injury history, right? He was out most of this year with a shoulder injury. He got hurt after the 4th game. So that kind of sucks, man. I mean, it really does. And he's had some injury problems in the past as well. And the thing is, when he's at his best, he's a very good linebacker. He's not amazing in coverage, obviously, but he's going to give us run support like a motherfucker. So, yeah, man. As you can see, before he got hurt, he was having a pretty productive year, despite the Texans being terrible. He was looking like he was going to have probably a pretty solid season. Linebacker was a position that we really, really needed help at, even worse than edge. And I think this really helps. And honestly, him and Jerome Baker, I think, are a pretty good matchup. Jerome Baker is more of the speedy cover guy. At least he has the athleticism to do it. So I kind of feel okay with this. I kind of feel okay with our linebacker situation, to be honest. I want to address it with like depth players, but I don't think we necessarily have to get a 1st-round linebacker anymore. I think we can wait to do that now, which is a good thing to know going into this draft. So, with that, let's get into a little bit of film. We're not going to watch a whole lot here, because most of y'all should know who he is. He's been, the Texans, for the most part, in the last few years, he got drafted in 2015. Obviously, they were bad last year, but up until then, in recent years, the Texans have been either a playoff team or they're contending for a playoff spot most years. And he is right at the forefront of most of that. He's been a solid linebacker his whole career there. So most of you guys should be pretty familiar with him. Overall, I do like the trade because the money-wise, it's pretty similar to what we were dealing with Lawson. And honestly, Lawson just isn't going to get that much playing time at edge. He just isn't. I just think we have better guys, and I want to get an edge rusher in the draft. So, yeah, I think this was a really good trade. We got a good inside linebacker, which was honestly the position that was the absolute weakest for us. So, with that, let's get into some film. Number 55. A little bit of a spin move here. I like that he stayed patient. He didn't overshoot his gap here. He just did his job and stayed patient, waited for the running back. I appreciate that. That's something that Jerome Baker really struggles with, and something that Landon Roberts also struggled with this year. Number right here. Nice. Let's take a look at this view. Right here. See, this is a little subtle thing right here that I love to see. Watch how he slips this block. This is something that not every linebacker is very good at. He uses this arm to be able to extend, But before that, before he even makes contact, he gives him just a little bit of a wiggle, right? Just a little bit of a fake to be able to create some space, make this guy stop, and go get this running back. It's fantastic. He knows how to deal with trash very well. In my mind, he is the only true middle linebacker on our team. Jerome Baker plays middle linebacker because he has to, but really he's more of a Will or a Sam. Sam, really, so he doesn't have to do too much mental processing. That's what gets him in trouble. So, anyway. See, he just gets off blocks really well. Watch this. The tight end climbed to go get him. And this is one thing I love, too. He's got good control. See, he's got his hands on this tight end, but look where his eyes are. They're on the backfield. He's waiting to see what this running back does. If the running back decides to go through this gap, then he can disengage and start taking off this direction at an angle to be able to cut him off. If he comes here, he can disengage quickly and stuff him, which is exactly what happens. That's control right there. That's something that not all linebackers have. That's nuance. If he can stay healthy for us, it's a fantastic trade. And this more than makes up for not having Kyle Van Noy back. This is an upgrade over that for sure. He's a good blitzer too. See this? See this? Watch. Watch this, guys. I'm gonna go in slow motion here. You see how the offensive line is moving to the left to make it look like this is going to be an outside run? Jerome Baker or Landon Roberts, 9 times out of 10, are going to bite on that and take it too far to the outside. But look at McKinley's eyes. He's reading this perfectly. He's with like a slow jog headed over that direction, just in case they're actually doing what they're showing. But he's making sure that he maintains his gap. He's doing his job and making sure that his gap isn't a free run lane. And when Dalvin Cook takes it, he slips this block and fills that gap. Fantastic run blocker. Fantastic. And the thing is, I was wanting Nick Bolton for our linebacker because of the things that McKinney's doing right here. These types of plays. This is the stuff that Nick Bolton did. But we just got it. We just got that skill set. This is exactly the type of linebacker I wanted for the Dolphins. So this was a fantastic trade. Shout out to Chris Greer, Brian Flores, and whoever else was involved in this trade. Great move going to get this guy. Because now it's something we don't have to address right away. Like I said, depth-wise, I do think we do need to address linebacker still. Just because you really need depth at linebacker. And those are your special teams players too. So we do still need to address linebacker a little bit, but it doesn't have to be day 1 or 2 now. More of the same. Right? He doesn't over pursue. He doesn't overshoot his gap. He stays in his gap and he does his job. This is a Brian Flores type guy. Just do your job. That's all. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to play hero ball and get yourself in a bad spot. Just do your job and make the tackle that needs to be made and shed blocks. He's fantastic at that. He's a very smart, aware player. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, man. He's not getting caught up in the funk. He's not just clumsily getting there. He's diagnosing what's happening with his eyes and attacking. That's a heads-up, smart football player. That's what that is. And he stopped Dalvin Cook right in his tracks. A fantastic player. I didn't want to record this right now, but I'm actually pretty excited now. I'm taking a nap after this, though. I'm exhausted. Look at this. 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 The way he gets off blocks, man, I love it. I love it. I'm excited. And people were saying he's not what he was. He's 28 now. He's older than he was in 2018 when he was a Pro Bowler, All Pro, stuff like that. But he's good right now. He's a good player right now. As long as he's healthy, it's fine. And it was a shoulder injury. He'll be fine. It's not like it was an Achilles or anything like that. He'll be fine. It was a shoulder. This was a fantastic trade. I love it. And Shaq Lawson really didn't get that much playing time anyway, to be honest. He did get playing time, but we have other edge rushers, you know? I mean, we have Van Ginkel. We have Ogba. And on the inside, we've got Christian Wilkins. We've got Raekwon Davis. And we are probably going to address edge in the draft, maybe even some in free agency. That was already something we were planning on doing regardless. So, honestly, getting rid of Shaq Lawson, it's okay. I mean, I would like to have both of them. That'd be great. But I think this is a very positive trade. And I also think there's more solid edge rushers in this class than there are linebackers. So, honestly, if you don't get one of the top 4 linebackers in this class, it gets pretty shaky. So I'm glad we did this. Right here. Ugh! Look at this. Look at this. Look at him slip this left tackle. You think you're going to block me? No. Get off of me. Put your face in the dirt, sir. On your knees when you talk to me. Get on your knees when you come see me. What are you doing on the ground? You're going to get your pants all dirty. You're going to get grass stains on it. What are you doing down there, man? And then goes and makes the tackle. I love it. Now, some people would just say that this isn't a big deal. He's just slipping blocks. He's just doing his job. Yeah, that's true. But not every linebacker does that, man. Jalen Smith for Dallas. Landon Roberts for us. Jerome Baker for us. There's so many of these linebackers who are more physically gifted than McKinney or a Bolton in the draft. Stuff like that. But they get themselves out of position by trying to do too much. It is so valuable when you have a headstrong, intelligent linebacker who knows how to just do their job and trust their teammates to do their job too. The most important things about a defense, it's not athleticism, it's not scheme, none of that. The most important things on defense is communication and trust. If you guys are in the right situation, you guys are all on the same page, and you trust the people next to you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to come out better than the other team. That's the most important things. Of course, individual skills matter too. Of course they do. But you have to trust the men next to you to do their job. You just need to do what you are supposed to do. That's why I have people like Nick Bolton over someone like a Micah Parsons in this draft. And it's why I'm excited about this trade. And I think the combination of him and Jerome Baker is awesome. Because McKinney does his job so effectively and so consistently that this is going to allow Jerome Baker to use his athleticism to get the job done. Think about it. This is so perfect because I was about to make an example with the Steelers. Think back to that, 2000s Steelers defense, right? Ryan Clark and Troy Polamalu, the 2 safeties. I know these guys are linebackers, but think about the 2 safeties, right? Troy Polamalu is one of the craziest safeties I've ever seen in my life. The shit he did was incredible. The way he seen the field was incredible, but the reason he was able to make the big splashy plays that he did is because Ryan Clark, and you know what, Ike Taylor too, the 2 of them did their jobs so consistently. They didn't get the turnovers that Troy Polamalu did. There were always jokes that Ike Taylor couldn't catch. But his job wasn't to get interceptions. His job was to do his job effectively so Troy, this crazy super athlete, can go make big plays. That's what this is. McKinney is going to do his job. Christian Wilkins is going to do his job. Raekwon Davis is going to do his job. And that's going to secure the up front. So the people like Xavier Howard can go do their job. Can go make splash plays. So the people like Jerome Baker can go make splash plays. And you know what? Even for the Dolphins last year, think of Byron Jones versus Xavier Howard, right? Byron Jones didn't get the interceptions that Xavier Howard did last year. But the way he covered people and locked them up so they couldn't even look that direction, so they had no choice but to test Xavier Howard, that's a big reason why he got so many interceptions. It's matchups like this that make a good defense. And this was such a good move by Chris Grier. I love it. And it was a good coincidence that this play is against the Steelers. And more consistency, just showing it. He's not doing too much. He's keeping his eyes in the backfield, reading what Ben's doing, reading what Connor's doing, reading what the O-line is doing, and he goes and makes this play. He sheds the fullback, he gets past Watt, and goes and gets Connor. And he's doing this on a bad football team, too. That matters. So that means that even if we're down in the dumps, where things aren't going perfectly, because let's face it, doesn't matter how good of a team you are, shit goes wrong in the National Football League. That's just a fact. Like, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just won the Super Bowl this year. If Tom Brady, Jason Pierre-Paul, Mike Evans, they all got injured or something like that, shit goes wrong, right? Shit goes wrong in the National Football League. It would have completely derailed their Super Bowl run. Shit can go wrong regardless of what team you have. And the fact that you have guys that are going to still consistently do their job even when your team sucks, it means a lot. Because that means they just have passion for the game and they're just consistently wanting to get their job done. I love it. I love this trade. I love it. I sometimes question Grier in Jesus. I just said his name, and I'm blanking. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted, guys. I've gotten about like 4 hours of sleep in 4 days. Flores. Jesus, Brian Flores. I couldn't think of his goddamn name. The decisions that they've done in free agency and trades has been absolutely astounding. Their draft situation is a little bit shaky for me sometimes, but it's okay because of what we do with trades and free agency. More consistency, man. Using his eyes and spicing that gap. It's how long we've been recording? Because this is just it's just clock. It's like clockwork for him. We'll go a little longer because it's fun watching film on him. Let's go to a different game. Baltimore. They like to do a bunch of misdirections. Let's see what happens against Baltimore. Yeah, I don't want to see him. I don't want him in coverage too much, to be fair. I want him more as like a run support guy, but he is okay in zone. But we don't do a lot of zone. We do mostly man. I don't want him doing that too much. This is all I want him to do. This is what I want him to do. Right here. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Look at his eyes there. He was reading the O-line, but he never took his eyes off. He never got himself in a position where he couldn't get back there. That's consistency, man. You gotta love this, man. This is football porn right here. Like I said, I don't love him in coverage. I really don't love him in coverage. I don't really want him doing that. He does look uncomfortable in coverage. But that's not what his job is. And the reason why I'm okay with this is because Brian Flores, not only is he a Bill Belichick disciple, but he's shown the ability to do what I'm about to talk about. Brian Flores and Bill Belichick share this one common trait that makes a great coach. They don't make their players do what they're not good at. Because why the hell would you? Okay, so you are an amazing run stopper. You are a super intelligent player. You're going to help everybody get in their position, but you're not that good in coverage. What am I going to do with you? I'm not going to make you man cover people. I'll put you in zone a little bit sometimes, but I'm going to have you stop the run. I'm going to have you do what you're good at. I'm not going to make you do what you're not good at. That's why the Patriots have won so many Super Bowls, because of that very thing. That's why our defense turned itself around so quickly last year, after people were doubting it after 2 games. That's how we were able to turn that around. Because of stuff like that. Because Brian Flores knows how to put his guys in a position to succeed. Fantastic trade. Fantastic trade. Will not hear disagreement on this one. Only thing is the injuries. That is a legitimate concern. That if that's all you have to say, then that's fine. But I feel like trading Shaq Lawson for him, I think that's a pretty fair trade. In the swap picks, that's kind of whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.